Alright guys, such coming again. I hope you're doing good and enjoying your day so far, with Kenny returning to the Los Angeles Thieves, with aBeZy joining the roster as well. Big questions as to how serious a threat FaZe are going to be in the upcoming season. Simp said, look, I got this, I am him, whatever team they potentially form. But Kenny reveals that as far as he's concerned, the Abuzah pickup from a personality perspective might not have been the way that he would have looked to go. The team on paper still looks solid, but as far as the Thieves boys are concerned, this FaZe team could be a little bit weird. Very much enjoyed your thoughts in the comments. Hit the like button if you enjoy, subscribe if you're new as always, I would greatly appreciate it. First of all, we want to talk about Overload. So this is the new, we think maybe, third game mode for competitive. We're not 100% sure what's happening yet. First of all, I will say this is the M8, right? So if you guys didn't use the M8 back in Black Ops 1, Black Ops 3, these are the iron sight of the 4-round burst weapon. You can actually see them. I mean, what's the cleanest way to look at it? Probably about here or something. You guys can see the iron sights very clearly, and M8A1 is officially back, so that's a nice start. But I do this little video on the new game mode, and the first thing you can see in literally the first second or so at the bottom of your screen here is this. And this is whatever they're going to call it, the device, as it were, right? Now, the first thing is, the guy runs in and picks up the device, presumably, but he doesn't, you know, hold the device in his hands like an uplink ball. He picks it up like a flag, right? Like a capture the flag or something. So it's kind of a cross of one flag CTF and Blitz. So if you guys have ever played one flag CTF, it's basically there's one flag in the middle of the map, kind of like where the uplink ball spawns in, and you have to take it to their portal. So there are similarities across many of these game modes. Uplink, you grab the ball and you have to dunk it into, or throw it into their portal. Kind of a similar idea here, but the uplink ball would always spawn in the same place, whereas in this game mode, the device spawns in 3 to 4 different locations on the map. Presumably you'll get to know where that's going to be. And this is also an interesting trailer because it does give us more of a look at the actual game itself, what it's going to look like, right? Because, you know, we get some proper gameplay footage here. There are some similarities of this game to Black Ops 4. I also think to Infinite Warfare. Game actually reminds me quite a lot of IW, which is actually not a complaint of mine at all. I thought Infinite Warfare personally is a pretty underrated COD. So, but you can see that he picks up the device here. I mean, in this one, it looks like, because he has the sniper out, whatever this ugly sniper rifle thing is, he picks up the device and it looks like he was going to change. But in this one, this teammate clearly picks the device up and just presumably has it on him or something. So it's a little bit unclear exactly how this is going to work. But you can see that he gets these like lightning things, like this electricity when he's holding the device, because he doesn't have it before. And then as soon as he picks it up, he goes like electric mode. So presumably that's like the indication that the guy has the device or something. But basically, it's one flag CTF, you pick the device up, you've got to bring it to their flag, you've got to bring it to their base. But it's not just one base, it's actually 2 portals. So there are 2 small little portals, you've seen them on the ground, and if you deliver the device into those portals, you will score a point. So it's kind of a cross between, yeah, Blitz with these little zones, and the CTF thing I just mentioned. It doesn't feel like you have to hold the ball like you do in Uplink, for example. But nonetheless, it seems like a pretty interesting and compelling competitive mode. It definitely has some features that we have seen in other competitive modes that have worked well in the past. And look, they've got Miles sitting down here with one of the developers, and he asks the question, this sounds like a competitive mode, and the developer says, yeah, this is a competitive mode, or like it is going to be very competitive. That's basically what was said. So that's the implication, that this is going to be probably the third mode, or at least what Trek want us to play as the third mode. Is it going to be any good? Crowder says better than Control, question mark. I don't know. Probably, to be honest. I guess the question is it the best option? It's a new third mode. Are people going to care about it? Are people going to play it? Is it going to be as good as Uplink, or maybe Capture the Flag or something? I still think I would prefer just to play Uplink, to be honest, but that is what it is, potentially. As I say, this is the M8A1 from Black Ops 2, and this is the M8A1, we think, from Black Ops 7. So, yeah, just a couple of screenshots to show you guys there. But of course, it's possible that these guns don't even get used, right? Because the pros may do what sometimes they do. Shotzzy also looked at some of the maps for the upcoming game, and we talked about some of them yesterday. There's rumors that, what was it called, Imprint and Toshin, they might be particularly good. Shotzzy says Toshin will be decent, reminds me of a Halo map, so people are getting good vibes from that one. The other ones, I guess time will tell. The other thing I wanted to mention is we know that active camo is coming back as a field upgrade, so there aren't specialists in this upcoming game in the traditional sense, but there are field upgrades because camo is going to be a field upgrade. Now, given that's the case, is it possible that other former specialists could return? Specialist abilities. I don't think that we're getting specialist weapons back. We are getting the Annihilator back. It's called the hand cannon or something. It's going to be a score streak. So if you're thinking of grav spikes or something like that, that probably comes back as a kill streak if it does at all. But there are certainly, I would say, other specialist abilities. Like if they're bringing camo back as a field upgrade that takes presumably a long time to load, in the same way as the specialist abilities used to be, it was exactly the same way back in the day that we had them. Are there others that should be considered, right? This, famously, is the FTL jump from Infinite Warfare. Was used famously on multiple occasions. This, of course, is Heatwave that Karma pops against Pac-Man. And there's a few others that we put into this little video here. This, of course, the grapple hook, right, in Black Ops 4. And what was the next one? Yeah, the vision pulse as well. So there's a few options that if they're bringing back camo, they might consider other field upgrades as well, because you don't want everyone to use camo. Of course, one of our fan favorite, community favorites for sure, is Glitch, of course, with you know, this famous clutch that Vicento got with that back in Black Ops 3. There are plenty of other options as well, right? I mean, if we look through all of the specialist abilities that could be field upgrades, Overdrive, you just go faster. The cool thing about Overdrive was that when you first activated it, it actually allowed you to, it gave you like a dash in the direction you were moving, so you can actually use it to kind of dash out the way like you were playing Advanced Warfare again. As I say, Vision Pulse was a thing, Glitch was a thing, Kinetic Armor was a thing as well. That might be a bit too much as a field upgrade, but it's something to think about. Combat Focus probably isn't going to be relevant for competitive, neither is Rejack. Psychosis was a pretty cool one as well, actually, that I forgot about, but I think that has to be kind of specific to the character that Scythe was, or that, what was his name, Reaper, yeah, Scythe was the actual weapon. Camo, of course, we know about. Heatwave, we know about. There are plenty of others as well. So in Infinite Warfare, they were called combat rigs. Those were the like active things that you could use. And as you can see, you know, similar ideas. Overdrive was a thing. There was reactive armor. That game had like rewind as well, which was effectively glitch. So and then the FTL jump was kind of one of the more interesting additional ones that they threw into that game. And then, of course, also Black Ops 4 had specialists. There was, for example, Crash. He had Attack 5, which boosted your whole team's health. You know, is that a potential field upgrade? Would that be a bit too strong? Probably. So yeah, just a few options to at least think about here that those specialists had over that time period. But let's talk about what Kenny had to say about aBeZy's old team. So the Thieves guys sat down, they talked about an awful lot of stuff in that podcast, and they were also discussing some rosters for the upcoming seasons. Now, they did this podcast on like the 8th of September. So basically, I mean, yeah, exactly 3 weeks ago, it seems, as of today. At the time, things weren't confirmed. The FaZe Vegas rebrand and the FaZe team were not confirmed. The Gentamates roster wasn't confirmed. It's not confirmed even today, at least as a recording, but we knew what the rosters were going to be. We knew what the FaZe team was going to be, and they talked about that as a result. So it was pretty interesting to hear their perspective on the new FaZe, because of course aBeZy maybe could have stayed, but evidently he had other opportunities. Falcons were interested. There was maybe some interest from Toronto or something, and presumably other teams were interested too, potentially. Then Thieves came along, and that was kind of a no-brainer for him, right? So he ends up leaving FaZe. Kenny turns up on Thieves as well, and they're looking at their competition, right? I think Thieves know that OpTic should be a serious threat. They are the reigning back-to-back champions for good reason. But what about FaZe? Are they going to be as good? Minus aBeZy plus 04, minus Cellium plus Abuzah. How's that going to work, right? Obviously, on paper, you're going to find it impossible to upgrade, but Kenny says that he believes that there's a little bit of an interesting personality clash potentially going on that team. As the guys say, they don't really know Abuzah too well, but they're kind of concerned maybe for the FaZe team that the chemistry between the personalities isn't going to work as well as it could do.
No, that was me in Atlanta because I was like 30 minutes away from the facility. Like, so the drive there and back every day, low key.
Bro, that is far.
Nah, that's why when I like got my apartment here, I was like, I'm living right next to the facility, literally right next.
That is, you're probably walking distance, no?
Yeah, I'm literally like 3 minutes. Like it's
Yeah.
like right there. Like
That's cool.
actually, so
That's dope. Are there any
stacks for me?
Are
What
there
the
any
fuck
like
does that
good
mean?
teams? Are there like what teams are being built for next year that are, you know, gonna be like competing?
no, I don't know any
I
of
have
them.
no
I don't know
idea.
who any of the teams
I don't
are.
know either.
Literally.
I've heard Minnesota's probably.
FaZe? FaZe
Oh
is
yeah, yeah,
good.
FaZe. I've
Yeah,
heard-
FaZe.
They're gonna be good.
No,
They
they'll
should
be
be
good.
like,
They'll
yeah.
be solid.
I just feel like the phase, the
FaZe is like
phase, like the
Drazah,
personality. Drazah, Abuzah, 04, and
Simp?
Simp. Yeah,
Yeah, so
That's a
like,
good team.
it's just weird like personalities. I don't know I know 04 obviously, but I don't really know Abuzah.
Yeah, I don't
But,
really know Abuzah like that.
I feel like that's just like he's
bro, that's
kind
the
of like.
biggest thing though. It's just person. I swear, it's
That's
just
what I'm saying.
personality.
That's literally all it is. Like
Yeah.
he's a shooter, but it's just like your personality. Like bro, what you bring to the team got to be dead. Like you can play with somebody who don't even call out.
Yeah.
It look like he's shooting, but he just don't even call out. Like
I mean, bro, that was the biggest. I mean,
It's
when
gotta
I
be
build
me.
when I build teams, bro, or like not like me personally, but
we're
like, bro,
a warlord.
I'm trying to like just team with people that are just normal.
No, that's what I'm
Like,
saying.
Yeah.
Like we could like we could play. We're normal. We can go outside, do whatever. Like we're
chill,
just
yeah,
chilling.
hang
It
out,
just
yeah.
doesn't feel awkward.
It's always the best teams. I'm telling you, because you gotta be able to like. I don't know. That's why because everybody was like, oh, why did you say it like bro? Because I always call it when I call out, I say bros, and I'm just like they are my bros. Like that's what I like to say is like my bros. Like I'm saying exactly what I want to say to you, and like I'll always be blunt, but it's like because I can see you my bro, like you're my homie. So it's like when we in the scrim room, I'm gonna say what the
It's
fuck I
just a
want to
team
say.
environment.
Like yeah,
You just gotta
like,
be like mad close.
that's
to
how
each
you
other.
gotta be though, because
Yeah,
like that's a
100%.
good team. If you don't do that, then it's like y'all just gonna be ass respectfully.
Yeah, and like you have to like be able to get everything on the table too. Like you can't just like leave shit.
That's what I'm saying.
You can't leave shit to like build up.
Because then
like,
one
that
person
happened a
one
lot
day
with
is
our
gonna
team,
blow
too.
up and just like let everything out. I was like, damn, you waited this long to say that? Fuck. Like,
Yeah, no, that's the worst
But, like,
too.
for-
Like, that
like, bro,
happens.
So Kenny even wondering, does this Abuzah guy call out, right? Like, how's that going to go on that roster? Obviously, he's a shooter, but it's a good question, right? Not many of the guys maybe were particularly friendly with at least some of the guys on that Surge team last season. They don't really know what Abuzah is like as a teammate, and therefore there are questions as to whether he is the best fit for that type of roster. As Kenny says, as Scrap says, you know, he likes to play with players that are like normal as far as he was concerned, which kind of implied something about some of the other players in the league anyway, that he would prefer, you know, they can go out for drinks, they can go out for whatever, and have that team environment in and outside of the server. And look, you've got to try and build that, I think, if you want a consistently successful team over time. There is some questions out of the Thieves guys as to whether FaZe have really done that. Because again, I think on paper, they've done a great job, FaZe, given the situation they found themselves in. aBeZy was probably going to go. Cellium was, I mean, he found it impossible to turn down that offer, and understandably so from the Falcons. But keeping Drazah, I think, is a win. And then the other guys they brought in, okay, you could talk about Neptune, but I think it makes some degree of sense. I think you could also argue that the other guys on Surge could also have been considered as well. You know, if this team, instead of 04 and Abuzah, was Nastie and Neptune, you know, would that be better or worse? I think there would be some debate about it. But it's interesting to hear what the Thieves guys have to say, certainly about a roster which on paper should be pretty competitive with them next season. But there are big questions, right? Because as Ronnie said the other day, which of these teams is going to win the most? Well, you know, these teams are going to win something, you would think. At least some of them will win something. Some of them may win nothing at all. And there's also other contenders, you know, could Heretics with Trakes do some damage? Could they take a step up? What about Toronto, of course? I think it's not worth excluding them from these conversations either. So tweet your thoughts on that in the comments below. I'll just close out the video with this clip if you guys haven't seen it before. This was doing the rounds yesterday. It's actually a pretty old clip now. Formal said this quite a while ago, but it got lots of traction, so I'm assuming some of you guys haven't heard this yet. And Formal's kind of explaining why, as far as he's concerned, he's the #1 AR in the history of COD. Clayster may well disagree with that, but very much enjoyed your thoughts in the comments. Hit the like button if you enjoyed. Subscribe if you're new. Take care, and I'll see you next time.
Your top 3 AR in COD still? Well, I haven't played COD in 4 years, so no. Or do you mean like just like ranking? I do. I think I'm #1 unanimously. I was doing it in an era where like I kind of invented like chowling, like literally like chowling. All the ARs that you see are just descendants of mine, like Dashy, Sib, like that's all because of me. People didn't used to play like that. We used to play like Wani and like playing hell like passive. Like Brandon is a direct descendant of mine. I'm just like the Dracula AR. Like bro, I'd be playing against a team in the finals, and I'm standing off the head glitch slightly to the right just so that I could check the other AR. during the series, just so that he thinks like, damn, this guy thinks I'm fucking ass. That's what kind of person I was. Like, I wasn't snaking, like fucking trying to like stay alive and shit. I was trying to bury the other AR. I think it's just like different. I don't know. And if I was winning gunfights versus an AR, I would just be taking more and more disrespectful childs as the series goes on. Like just cheat checking left and right. Like, bro, you can't kill me. I'm just gonna keep doing this. Your whole team knows too. So it's like that's why I was so like bad in World War II compared to the jetpack years. And I wasn't even bad at World War II. People would gas the fuck out of that. But fucking, it's just because it was the complete opposite of what kind of AR I was.